Okay, let's talk about the distance formula. Calculate the distance between 2 points on the coordinate plane. So don't draw this, just observe, okay? I have a coordinate 5, 1. That's 5, 1, about where it would be. 0, 3, and that's going to be up here. I got to figure out the distance, how many units it is from here to here. Well, there's a formula that figures that out. It's the square root, and you're going to have two parentheses plus each other. Now, with those parentheses, you take them both to the second power, and then you use minus signs in the middle. And you just basically put your x's together, so it'd be 5 minus 0. You can put them in any order, okay? And then you go 1 minus 3. 3 minus 1 could be 2 because you're taking it to the second power, so in any rate, when you square and negative or positive. Because this is 3 minus 1 is 2, 1 minus 3 is negative 2, but if I square them both, it becomes 4. Now, I want you to do the square root. Don't punch in the square root on your calculator. All you need to do is parentheses 5 minus 0 to the second power plus 1 minus 3 to the second power. Square root of 29, leave it. And also, this is easy to do in your head if you're good at mental math. 5 minus 0 is 5, to the second is 25. That's negative 2, but then to the second is 4. 25 plus 4 is 29. Okay, next one. First you add them, then you square each parentheses, and then put a subtraction. Because the distance, you're finding how far it is from like x to x, y to y, squaring them. Now, the idea behind it all has to do with the Pythagorean theorem, which I don't really have time to show in this video in May, okay? So nobody's really going to be interested in that. So, negative 6 minus 2, and then 7 minus 9. So again, just parenthesize. So negative 6 minus 2 to the second plus 7 minus 9 to the second. It's going to be square root of 68. I don't need that simplified. Just leave it like that. Again, that'd be negative 8, but if you square it, it's 64. Negative 2 squared is 4. 64 and 4 make 8. 68. All right, now the next one, that's a comma right there. That's a negative 7 right there. Now this one here is a little bit different. There's one little change you're going to make. XY, XY. Put those minuses. So x minus x, you go 6 minus 4. And then negative 3 minus negative 7. If you are going to put a negative number after that minus sign, just make it plus 7, okay? Because when you subtract the negative, you're just adding the positive integer to it. So that the number you're going to put after your minus is a negative, just put plus and then the positive number. So second. 6 minus 4 to the second, plus parentheses negative 3 plus 7 to the second. It's 18. Okay, I'm down with that. Okay, next. Goes pretty quick once you get it. Not a lot of skill involved as long as you know the formula. Okay, so x minus x, that's going to be a negative 2 minus 2, and then 1 minus 5. Again, if you want to do it in your head, it's going to be 4 to the second 16, 4 to the second 16. It's going to be 32. But if you can't do a mental math worth of crap, then use your calculator. Mental math is something like once you get to high school, if you don't have it, you teachers got to come up with other ways for you to be successful. It's not an insult, it just is. College, they let you use calculators all the time, so most sane colleges. Okay, so x is 6, And then I'm going to put a negative, so it's just plus 4. That's going to be 10 to the second. That's 100. And then negative 2 minus 7. It's going to be 181. So 6 plus 4 to the second plus negative 2 minus 7 to the second. 181. Square root, parentheses, plus. Get those second powers out there. You miss a second power, you can't do it. Okay, so x's, we got 7 and then plus 12 because it's negative. And then the y's, you're going to go 5 plus 1. That one's hard to do in your head, so it was 19 to the second. That's probably, a lot of you don't have that memorized. Remember, do not punch in the square root. I don't want that done. Otherwise, the next assignment's 30 times more confusing than it needs to be. 397. Okay, last one. Okay, and then my x is negative 1 minus 9. That's negative 10. Squared is 100. And then negative 3 plus 13. That's also 10 squared, which is 100. So 100 plus 100 is 200. Boom. Square root of 200, though.